Imagine arriving in a country where you barely understand the language, and the very next morning, thousands of people are expecting you to perform. There is no time to sit quietly in the corner. Your coach is giving instructions. Your teammates are shouting. Medical staff are asking questions. Cameras are waiting outside, and millions of fans are watching. For an ordinary person, learning a new language can take years. For a professional footballer, it can become part of the job almost overnight. And that raises an interesting question. How do footballers from Brazil, France, Argentina, Spain, Japan, or Croatia suddenly become comfortable communicating in English after moving to an English-speaking club? It isn't magic. It isn't simply talent. There are several powerful reasons behind it. Here are 8 of them. Reason number 1, they have no choice. For most people, language learning is optional. You can postpone studying today. You can skip tomorrow. You can tell yourself you'll practice next week. A professional footballer doesn't always have that luxury. Imagine joining a new club on Monday. By Tuesday, you're expected to understand training instructions. By Wednesday, you're sitting in a team meeting. By Thursday, you're traveling with the squad. And by the weekend, you might be playing in front of tens of thousands of supporters. There is no comfortable adjustment period. The job starts immediately. That's why many players begin with the most useful words first. Not complicated grammar. Not academic vocabulary. Just football. Press. Turn. Man on. Drop. Switch. Behind you. Leave it. These simple expressions can make the difference between understanding a teammate and completely missing the play. Football essentially creates its own survival language. And when understanding that language affects your performance, your brain has a very strong reason to learn it. Reason number 2, they live inside the language. Imagine spending 6 or 7 hours every day surrounded by people speaking English. You don't just study the language. You live in it. You hear it at training. You hear it in the locker room. You hear it on the team bus. You hear it during meals. You hear it in the gym. You hear it in conversations between teammates. This is called immersion, and it can be incredibly powerful. At first, a player might understand only a few words. Then certain phrases start becoming familiar. Eventually, entire conversations become easier to follow. And something interesting happens. The player stops translating every sentence mentally. Instead of thinking in their native language and converting everything into English, they begin understanding English directly. That transition can completely change the learning process. The footballer isn't studying English for 1 hour a day. They're getting exposure to it all day long. Reason number 3, they learn the language they actually need. Here's something people often misunderstand. A footballer doesn't need to become an English professor. They need to become an effective communicator. That means their learning is highly practical. They might learn how to explain an injury, how to discuss tactics, how to speak to a coach, how to answer a journalist, how to joke with teammates, how to communicate with staff. Their vocabulary grows according to the situations they encounter. And that's a huge advantage. Think about it. If you only learn words you'll never use, motivation disappears quickly. But if you learn a phrase today and immediately use it tomorrow at training, your brain has a reason to remember it. The language becomes connected to real experiences. And real experiences are much harder to forget. Reason number 4, the locker room forces social learning. There is another reason footballers can improve surprisingly quickly. Their teammates. The locker room isn't just where players change clothes. It's where friendships are built. Players talk. They tease each other. They argue. They celebrate. They tell stories. They create inside jokes. And if you don't understand the language, you can quickly feel like an outsider. That's uncomfortable. Nobody wants to sit silently while everyone else is laughing. So the new player starts listening more carefully. They copy expressions. They ask questions. They try to join conversations. They make mistakes. And then they try again. This social pressure can become a powerful learning engine. Because suddenly, learning English isn't about passing a language test. It's about belonging. Reason number 5. Their club may help them. At the highest levels of football, language is not a small detail. Clubs invest enormous amounts of money into their players. So helping an international signing adapt can be part of the process. Some players receive private language lessons. Others work with tutors who focus specifically on football-related communication. Instead of spending all their time memorizing complicated grammar rules, they might practice realistic situations. How to answer an interview question. How to communicate with teammates. How to handle everyday life. How to understand tactical instructions. And when necessary, translators can provide support during the early stages. The objective isn't necessarily perfect English. The objective is independence. The sooner a player can communicate without assistance, the sooner they can fully integrate into the club. Reason number 6. The media pushes them out of their comfort zone. Training is one thing. Standing in front of a camera is something completely different. After a major match, players can suddenly find themselves surrounded by microphones. Journalists ask questions. Cameras are recording. Millions of people may watch the answer later. And unlike a conversation with a teammate, an interview doesn't always follow a predictable script. You have to listen, think, understand, and respond. That pressure can accelerate language development. The player begins learning not only how to speak, but how to express opinions, how to explain emotions, how to describe mistakes, how to talk about pressure, how to represent the club, and eventually, the language becomes part of their public identity. A player who once needed help answering simple questions may eventually give long interviews entirely in English. That transformation can be remarkable. Reason number 7. They have to use English outside the stadium. Football isn't their entire life. Eventually, the player has to leave the training ground. And that's where another language classroom begins. The supermarket, the restaurant, the bank, the airport, the neighborhood, the children's school, the doctor's office, even simple conversations with neighbors. These situations create something textbooks can't fully reproduce. Real consequences. If you don't understand a sentence, you have to ask. If someone doesn't understand you, you have to explain it differently. If you don't know a word, you have to find another way to communicate. Every small interaction becomes another repetition. Some players also use movies, music, video games, podcasts, and social media to expose themselves to natural English. And this is especially useful for learning something textbooks often struggle with: humor, slang, expressions, tone, and the way people actually talk. Reason number 8. They are willing to sound bad. This might be the biggest secret of all. Most people aren't afraid of learning a language. They're afraid of looking stupid while learning it. They worry about pronunciation. They worry about grammar. They worry that someone will laugh. So they stay silent. Footballers don't always have that option. If you need to communicate with your teammate during a match, you can't wait until your English is perfect. You have to speak, even if the pronunciation isn't perfect, even if the grammar is wrong, even if everyone knows you're still learning. And every mistake becomes feedback. You say something incorrectly. Someone corrects you. You remember it. You use it again. That's how fluency develops. Not through perfection, through repetition, and through the willingness to be uncomfortable. But there's a deeper reason. Learning English can change much more than a footballer's ability to communicate. It can change their role inside the team. Think about what happens when a player becomes confident enough to communicate clearly. They can organize teammates, explain what they see on the pitch, encourage younger players, talk directly to the coaching staff, handle interviews, represent the club, and influence the atmosphere inside the locker room. In other words, language can create leadership. A player may arrive as a talented foreign signing, but once they can communicate naturally with everyone around them, they can become something much more valuable. A connector, someone who brings people together. And in a sport built around teamwork, that ability is incredibly powerful. The real secret isn't English. So the next time you watch an international footballer giving an interview in English, don't just listen to the accent. Think about what happened before that moment. The awkward conversations, The misunderstood jokes. The vocabulary memorized before training. The questions they didn't understand. The mistakes they made. The times they were forced to speak even when they didn't feel ready. Because learning a language isn't really about becoming perfect. It's about becoming functional, confident, and connected. For footballers, English can be the bridge between a foreign dressing room and a second home. It can turn strangers into teammates, teammates into friends, and talented players into leaders. Because football may be played with the feet, but the game is built on communication. And sometimes, the most important pass a footballer makes isn't with the ball. It's with their words. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating stories about football, psychology, language, and the hidden details behind the game we love. See you in the next video.